What's up riders, it's time for another road test and today we've got the brand new LS2 Storm 2 in front of us. It's a full face helmet with a recommended retail price of €179. Now LS2 is a brand that is often associated with value for money as a large part of their helmet lineup is very affordable. They kind of specialize in getting the most out of a helmet for the lowest price. So I'm curious to find out what this helmet has to offer. Well, it has a Micromatic ratchet closure, it's best suited for an intermediate oval head shape, it has an integrated sun visor and of course it's 2206 certified. It's available in sizes XS to 3XL. And what size would you need? Well, grab a tape cloth and measure the circumference of your head starting at an inch above the eyebrows. Then take a look at the specific sizing chart for the LS2 Storm 2 and see what size fits you best. There's much more to discuss, so let's get into it. First up is the material segment, where we look at the material of the outer shell and the amount of outer shell sizes a helmet is available in. Don't forget that more outer shell sizes is beneficial, as this makes the outer shells more compact across the range of sizes. The Storm 2 is made of polycarbonate, which is known for its low cost, but it's also one of the heavier materials a helmet can be made out of. Also, the Storm 2 is available in 3 outer shell sizes, which is a decent amount, so the Storm 2 earns 3 stars for material. Let's continue to weight. Here we use a scale that is accurate to the gram for every helmet we test. We've also weighed every helmet in a size M to make the competition fair and without any additional features like a communication system. And when we weighed the LS2 Storm 2, our scale indicated a weight of 1515 grams. And for this weight it earns 2.5 stars, but it's still an impressive score considering that this helmet has an integrated sun visor and it has a polycarbonate outer shell. Well, let's continue to the visor segment. Well, we've set up a matrix to judge the visor. Here many different visor features and characteristics are listed, and naturally not every visor feature is equally as impactful on your riding experience, which is why we've weighed them based on what riders ask us about the most. Let's see the results. The LS2 Storm 2 comes alongside a Max Version Pinlock 70 in the box. Now, there are 3 tiers of Pinlock. You have 30, 70 and 120, and for a helmet in this price range a Pinlock 70 is just fine. The visor itself has a wide field of vision, and like we mentioned earlier, the Storm 2 is also equipped with an integrated sun visor. Finally, behind the visor is a very sizable breath guard that will help prevent the visor from fogging up. Operating the visor itself feels very smooth, but it's not always a good thing. In this case, the mechanism doesn't have any notches to lock the visor in place, so I can guarantee you that the visor will be blown shut by the wind or by riding over bumps in the road. All in all, these features will earn the LS2 Storm 2 a solid 4 stars. Let's move on to our first road test segment. Time to take the Storm 2 out on the road and see to what extent it's able to isolate the outside noise. We measure this by placing a decibel meter close to the ear of our test rider, recording the sound the same way as he hears it. We take our measurements from long stretches of open highway riding at an average of 130 km per hour. And finally, we've set up a noise isolation matrix to determine star scores. During our testing, the Storm 2 had an average reading of around 105 decibels, which makes it a rather loud helmet. This means that if you're planning to ride with this helmet on the highway, you definitely need earplugs. It earns 2 stars for noise isolation. Not the best start to our road test segments, but let's see if the Storm 2 performs better on ventilation. Here we measured to what extent the Storm 2 is able to keep your head cool out on the road, and to do so we've placed a thermometer inside the helmet to measure the inside temperature at all times. At the same time, we keep track of the outside temperature and compare the two. The smaller the difference, the more stars a helmet earns. But first, let's look at the ventilation layout of the Storm 2. On top, it is a very large adjustable vent that can either be open or closed. It is a bit sluggish to operate, but it shouldn't cause you too much trouble. The chin vent has the exact same button to adjust it, and inside the chin vent you'll actually find an insect filter. On the back you'll find pretty extensive exhaust layout, as there are 3 exhausts in total that allow warm air to flow out. During our testing, the Storm 2 was around 1 degree Celsius warmer than the outside temperature, which still means that it's perfectly capable of keeping your head cool out on the road. It earns 4 stars, so let's move on to comfort. So far we've tested the Storm 2 on many performance related criteria, but is it comfortable to wear? Well, that's exactly what we'll tackle here, but this segment can present a challenge for us as it's hard to translate the comfort of a helmet into concrete numbers. That's why for this part part only will be partially relying on our test rider. He has more than 17 years of riding experience and has also tested the other helmets on our channel and can therefore make a comparison like no other. But let's look at the comfort features of the Storm 2 first. First off, the inner lining is removable, washable and it's hypoallergenic. It leaves room for you to wear glasses and the helmet is equipped with a chin curtain. This closes the gap between the chin of the helmet and your neck, preventing any wind from getting through. The feeling of the padding is good and soft, but the cheek pads are noticeably more stiff than on other helmets. So that means that it might take a bit longer for the cheek pads to conform to the shape of your face. Our test rider found the fit of the Storm 2 to be average to decent, and you can't really adjust the padding of this helmet. While the cheek pads are interchangeable between sizes, they actually all have the same thickness across the entire range, apart from the sizes 2XL and 3XL. All in all, it earns 2.5 stars on comfort. Let's continue to our final segment, features. One segment to go before we reach our conclusion, and here we've set up a matrix that includes many different features, and naturally not every feature is equally as impactful on your riding experience, which is why we've weighted them based on what riders ask us about the most. Let's see the results. First off, the Storm 2 is kind of prepared for the LS2 4X communication system, which has a recommended retail price of €279. I say kind of because you install this system by sticking it to the side of the helmet, which is the same way you would install pretty much any universal system. However, it does have a very hidden cutout for the battery unit so that you can seal it behind the padding. Of course, it also has speaker pockets. The 4X is a system that allows you to start a call with up to 4 riders in total. It connects to other systems through Bluetooth and it has an operating range of around 1200 meters and a battery life of 13 hours. Finally, the speakers are 40mm thick and they're made by JBL. Aside from the communication system, the Storm 2 doesn't really have that much to offer aside from the fact that it's glasses friendly. All in all, it earns 3 stars on features. Let's come to our final conclusion. Alright, let's start by putting every score side by side, starting with material, where it earned 3 stars for being made of polycarbonate and coming in 3 outer shell sizes. On weight, it earned 2.5 stars for weighing in at 1515 grams. The Storm 2 had its best result in our visor segment, where it earned 4 stars for being equipped with a sun visor, having a wide field of vision and coming alongside a Pinlock 70 Max Vision in the box. Then in our road test segments, the Storm 2 earned 2 stars on noise isolation for having an average measurement of 105 decibels and 4 stars for ventilation for having a temperature difference of +1 degree Celsius. Comfort wise, the Storm 2 earned 2.5 stars, and finally on features, the Storm 2 earned 3 stars. All in all, the Storm 2 earned an average of 3 stars for which you pay €8.5 per star. So price to performance wise, this is an excellent option from LS2. It has an internal sun visor, it's pretty lightweight and it has excellent ventilation. However, it did show weakness on noise isolation and this helmet will take some getting used to comfort wise. But despite the entry-level price tag, LS2 still managed to put a lot of great qualities into this helmet. That covers it for our review of the LS2 Storm 2. As always, we're curious to know what you guys think in the comments below. For those interested in the Storm 2, head on over to championhelmets.com, where we have the lowest price guaranteed and very sharp discount bundles. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in your feed. Guys, buy smart and ride safe. Until next time.